Hi everyone, my name is Foon and I'm the project manager for the Past is Present New Montagnard Artists. This project was made possible through Creative Greensboro, the Office of Arts and Culture in the city of Greensboro, North Carolina, through a Catalyzing Creativity grant. The recipient, the Montagnard Dega Association, was able to host artists, writers, creatives from the Montagnard community and allow them to pursue a project that would reflect their artwork, where we were able to celebrate the three artists, Sachi, YSue, and H'Rina, as well as elder artists from the community together.
I've been teaching in New York City. I've never had the chance or the opportunity to teach Montagnard Americans.
Rain after rain, splashing in pieces lasting from 60 to 90 seconds and getting worse by the
hour. Hi, my name is Sachi Deley. I'm a 22-year-old mixed media artist from Greensboro, North Carolina. I've been making art since I was a kid, and I continued to create art throughout college. I went to Guilford College and got an art degree, and now I'm a full-time freelance artist. Most of my art is concentrated in my culture. I'm Bujiang, and a lot of it is inspired by modern art, so like Frida Kahlo, Van Gogh. I incorporate a lot of traditional patterns into my artwork. Stuff with my culture, really. So this first piece is called Reflection. It's oil and acrylic on canvas, and I had a really close friend of mine model for this piece. So this piece is actually from a photo, and what we did was I basically decorated her in a bunch of traditional fabric, and we were just playing around with what we had. To me, this is just a painting of just the beauty in the fabric of my culture, and it's just something I don't see often, and I really wanted to captivate the colors and the patterns and the wool and really incorporate and make it come to life. And then I also added the traditional basket as well, so that that part of my culture is represented. And just the girl admiring herself and her beauty. And also a cat, because I like cats. So this piece is called Prayer. It's acrylic, oil, and fabric. So I made these prints on fabric, and then I basically cut it all up and then recollaged them again. I grew up in a really religious household, and I myself have never been religious, but I found myself reflecting how I feel when I pray in this painting. Yeah, so it's a little bit gloomy and isolated, but it's still warm, you know? Yeah. So this piece is actually the largest piece I have in this exhibition, and it is called Crying Ox. It's oil and acrylic on wood or some type of plywood. This one has a pretty long story with it, but let me just explain like the decapitation part. My head separated from the body. It's just a reflection of how I feel growing up in the United States and like having my culture, because I never really understood my culture that much, so I kind of felt like my body and my head were like separate, kind of, or like my mind and my body were separate. I don't know, I also think that ancestral trauma and family trauma is real, and that it lives in our bodies today from our ancestors. So that's basically what that reflects. Just how I feel, but also a part of my family history as well.
There you go. Hey, hello, my name is YSue Bujiang. I'm a Montagnard American artist, born in Vietnam, raised in Greensboro, North Carolina. In terms of formal education, I studied art at Guilford College here in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I spent 4 years there, got a bachelor's in art, studying artists that I like, such as Caravaggio, Rembrandt, Sargent, you know, the old masters, the classics, and I try to replicate that in my own art. All right, so this is the first painting titled Flight from Persecution, and this is about the Montagnards' escape from Vietnam as refugees into America. And you can see here, going from left to right, we got a man down here. He's being attacked by the people persecuting the Montagnard community. And so you got these other folks making their way, escaping, essentially, being guided by a religious figure, like an angel and that sort of stuff, because religion and faith is a huge part of the Montagnard community. So this is kind of a reference to that. All right, so this is the second painting in this three-part series. It's titled Material Necessity. And so one thing we don't really talk about as refugees coming to America in a new world is, you know, getting money. That's one of the biggest things, because you got to have a solid foundation to really thrive in a new world. And so this is kind of a reminder. And you can see the figure on the left here is handing the figure on the right money. That's that little hand gesture he's got there. But while he's handing him the money, he's also gesturing towards the heavens as a reminder that even though that material necessity is something that we need, we should also remember that God and our faith remains the highest priority. And that's what's most important. So this third painting in this series is called Leisure. And so what this shows is people from the Montagnard community essentially in a relaxed setting, relaxed posture. And so what this represents is a complete assimilation of the community in this new world. And so you see the Montagnard pattern, the cloth here, just kind of strewn across the canvas. And so what this is kind of a showing of that insecurity of the new world gone. You know, now that it's something that they're proud of, they can show, and they're not worried about it anymore.
We hope that you enjoyed today's program and support local artists, particularly Indigenous artists, Montagnard artists. Thank you all for your support.